photography as a whole, it was always linked to the printing press. It was linked to the media. The photographers, they were related to a newspaper, to a magazine, to different, especially newspapers and magazines. And then little bit, that's the development of what we can call today the photojournalism, or documenting photography. But then, as the photographers were having a means to manage their life and the studio, they start to producing their own work. How different from Europe or the United States, it developed their own character, but later, most getting into the beginning of the last century. At the beginning, it was just people sent from Europe or the United States to document the exotic creatures we are supposed to have in Latin America, and documenting mostly the life of the natives. We received several campaigns of people who came with different ideas to Latin America to produce materials. The idea was to produce books and sell the photographic books in Europe. We try to live our history as our own history. Every country teaches you your history as you own it, but you don't own it. We are all, especially in the Western Hemisphere, we are totally interconnected. United States, Central America, Canada, Caribbean, and South America, we are totally interconnected, and we share history, we share values, and we share aesthetics. Latin American art in general has the tendency to engage the viewer. It has the tendency to tell a story, to try to say something. We take the trends and the new movements of art in Europe, and we transform and we produce our own version of them. We don't do literal copies of them. It's sort of related to the kind of artwork we have in the United States, in the Midwest. Murals, a lot of storytelling about the people who went and settled in the Midwest. Well, the same it happens in Latin America. Usually the people who, as we talked at the beginning, the people who are the upper class could afford to buy the daguerreotypes. These are made of, the models are all bodyguards of the politicians and rich people in Guatemala. And he dressed them in particular colonial clothes, and I think he is trying to establish a parallelism in between the technique he used and the social class of the person they are protecting. He works in that social, economic class. In colonial times was a production of propaganda. Mostly Christianity was spread through propaganda. That's what González Palma is recovering, some of that elements of propaganda, and putting another message inside that propaganda element and sending it out again with a different message and a different trying to reach another audience also, and to create awareness and to create conscience about who we are and what we are doing with our own countries. For example, in Virginal is like the image of a virgin, the Virgin Mary, very popular in Spain, very popular in Latin America. Different advocation of the Virgin in different regions of the, but in this case, she is a native. She's a Mayan descendant with the silverware, the crown that the Spaniards designed and the native produce from silver, probably from Potosí, from Bolivia. And then now going specifically to what is González Palma work is the gaze, the look, la mirada. That's what is important. How we address each other, how we look at each other, how we express our inner soul with our eyes, and how we connect through our eyes. And that's what he does. All of them have a particular way of seeing you. You think you are seeing the image, but the image is transmitting you whatever the mood, el sentimiento, a través de la mirada. And then everything has that own brown tone that he does. I assume, I don't know, because he's not going to tell me, but I assume he fixed the image with a fixer, with a tone fixer. The fixer tiene un tono que da el mood a la fotografía, that gives the photography the mood. But he doesn't do that on the eyes. The white of the eyes is whiter than the rest of the picture. And with that element only, he changed totally the final aspect, or what he wants to say about the image.